Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing today? Let's make sure we have sound. We should. Okay, yes, we do. All right. So yeah, watching SEEL. This one was moving some in after hours yesterday. SEEL. It was moving some in after hours. We'll see what we get with it this morning. We got a lot of other movers as well. Specifically, the microchip sector is up. And so, like, for instance, if we look at AMD, it is up some. NVIDIA, it's up some. MU, it's up some. So the microchip sector's up. I'll have to look up the news to see what's going on with that one. What's up, Shaw, My Cargo, Nick, Pat, Netron, John, Tech? All right, well, it's definitely been a slump week for me. Mitch has been killing it lately in the market. It's been a slump week for me, though. No stress. Slump weeks happen. So we'll see if I can finish the week off strong today on Friday. We'll see how that goes. But luckily, I've restricted all of my losses this week to about $20. And so I'm not down a lot. All right, so yeah, you can see SEEL there, MU. We also have PRGS here. I'll look up the news for these once we go over them. ROKU was up. MKRK, or no, MRKR is up. Cron up some. NBEV, cannabis play, big gap up there for that one. Kind of falling back down a little bit, but it's up some. We have the SPY, which is up to 282s. Let's see, YNDX is what I've been trading lately. It had a big green day yesterday. We also have BOXL. BOXL is up some if you can trade it. AMRS. Big move for AMRS this morning as well. It's up to 270s from 210. CADX. CADX doesn't look terrible. We have CREX. Gapping up a little bit here. ADMA, BB, which is BlackBerry. I might watch BlackBerry. I think that one's tradable. So yeah, let's look up some of these news releases to see what's going on with a lot of these. I tried looking up MYT. I couldn't see much going on with that one. But the first one we're going to look up is SEAL, SEEL. I know this one was moving actually in pre-market yesterday, or in after hours yesterday. So yeah, they added 2 new pipelines since January merger, and that's why the stock is up. So they put out a release that said they did add 2 new pipelines since they had the merger in January. And yeah, they basically said they acquired 2 new programs after completing its reverse merger with Apricus Biosciences in January of this year. And so that's causing optimism, and SEEL is up. Let's see, we also have BlackBerry here on the bottom chart. We can look up BlackBerry. The company reported better than expected earnings and revenue, and it's up roughly 10%. And so better than expected earnings and revenue for BlackBerry here, which is BB. We also have PRGS. PRGS, big gap up there from 38 to 47, almost $10, roughly 25, a little bit under 25% it seems. Gonna look at PRGS. First quarter results for PRGS. First quarter results. We have a few people with considering those positive first quarter results. Some are raising the price target. It's raised to 42 from 36 at Wedbush. And so that one's interesting. We'll keep an eye on this one. Let's look at the microchip sector. You know, the microchip sector is pushing this morning. Let's see if we can find out why. AMD put out something that said they're going to challenge Intel server processor market dominance. But let's look up something else. Let's try to find the bigger mover here. Maybe MU. MU probably looks stronger than some of these other ones. So let's look at MU, see if we can find anything for that. If you know what's going on in the microchip sector, let me know. MU. MU was the fast money pick for today. And so MU was the fast money pick for today. Let's look at NVIDIA. Nothing really for NVIDIA here. What's up, Netron? What's up, Pat? What's going on with Lyft? Like, is the IPO today? When is it? We also have MRKR, sorry. Gapping up some market therapeutics. Real quick while we're looking at this, BOXL had strong results. BOXL, had strong fourth quarter results. MRKR, MRKR. They provided a business and clinical update. They said that basically that their plans were to advance a phase 2 company-sponsored clinical trial in the post-transplant acute myeloid leukemia as it looks forward to finalize its clinical protocol by the end of the second quarter of 2019 and submit an IND in the third quarter. We'll see what happens with MRKR. It seems positive. It's basically they're announcing they're going to do a clinical trial, and it's gapping up some to show that. Overall, we have a few more. We can look at NBEV, which is I believe a cannabis-infused drink company, if I remember correctly, for NBEV. If you know what's going on with it's fourth quarter results for NBEV. So yeah, we're in the heat of earnings season. Fourth quarter results for NBEV. We could look at Cronsum as well. It might just be up on sympathy though. Big green day yesterday as well. So yeah, that's about it. Let's look at the overall market and see what we get. What's up, Illard? Good morning, man. So yeah, the overall market is up. We'll see what we get for it today. So what's everybody else watching? What's up, Greg, Illard, Bill? What's up, man? I'll be right back, guys. Give me like, I don't know. Give me like a minute or so. I'll be back. All right, I'm back. Last day of the quarter, Lyft IPOs today. Yeah, for sure. I'm assuming the symbol is LYE or LYFT, right? That's what I figure it probably is. Um, Curious. I'll keep an eye on that one today. I'll send Mitch the link just in case he's going to join us today. I'm not sure if he is or not. But yeah, it sounds like some other traders aren't doing so hot this week as well. Might just be one of those weeks, man. There we go. 72? 72? That is ridiculously high for Lyft. I'm sorry, but Lyft is like, if you drive Lyft or if you like Lyft or if you have invested in Lyft, I'm sorry, but Lyft is like a secondhand Uber. It just is. And, I don't care who was around first. Uber obviously has the market dominance, I would think. But $75, that's ridiculously high. It all depends on, I guess, what the float is and stuff like that. But anybody know the float? What's up, Isaac? I mean, even 110 for Uber is too high, I think, man. It's just, what's the float on these things? Let me look. But yeah, it just seems way too high, honestly. I'm trying to look it up now. Hold on one second, guys. All right, so yeah, 32 million. I mean, even 32 million. I think it's just too high. I'm sorry, I just think it is. I think Uber's too high too. Honestly, here's the thing though. Like, I don't. It's a private company at this point, or it was up until this point, and so you don't really know what they know. Like, you don't know what their earnings really like. You don't know how strong everything is, and so it's just maybe it's the right price. I would hope that whoever's initiating the IPO would do their due diligence and not be greedy with it. But you never really know. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. Like I said, though, I think if Uber's doing theirs at 110 million, maybe what is it, 87 million? Maybe that's not that unreasonable, or maybe 72 million is, or maybe $72. Sorry, isn't that unreasonable? But who knows? It just seems high to me. That's kind of up there with. I don't know. It just seems too high for me. Is Lyft tradable? I don't know. At this point, I can't even get it to pull up on my Thinkorswim account. It's LYFT, right? Let me look it up. It's got to be. I mean, if they picked any other symbol, they're failing over there, man. Yeah, see, it says Lyft prices IPO at the top of the range. Yeah, it's LYFT. I mean, that's the symbol. It's not pulling up. All right, they're going to make me pull up my TEFS account to see if I can at least pull it up on my TEFS account for Lyft. Yeah, let's look it up. Let's find it here. All right, well, at least it pulls up here. It'll at least pull up on TEFS, I think. It's not pulling up yet. Maybe it'll pop up once once it actually opens. Who knows? But yeah, seals up again. Let's see if anything's actually tradable today or not. Yeah, that's what I kind of figured. I mean, honestly, that's probably why they're bringing it public, though. If they're losing a bunch of money, it's a very common thing. Companies trying to take it public so they can make some type of money, you know. But it's just too high. You know, you could still make money if it's... I would think it would... I would think a stock like that would be priced at like 30 bucks. You know, like $30, $25, $30 I think would be a reasonable IPO open for those stocks. And so... I think they're too high, but who knows? Maybe I'm wrong, you know. Right. That's kind of what I was thinking. Snap is like the first one I was thinking, or Twitter even. I don't know what Twitter opened up at, but I know Twitter used to be much higher than it is. Let's see where Twitter opened. No, Twitter didn't actually open up that high. Let me look at it. Let me farther. Maybe I was wrong about Twitter. Yeah. I mean, okay, yeah. It's kind of like Twitter, you know. Twitter opens up at like, I don't know. I mean, Twitter opened up at the 40s. Even that's half the price. And I think Twitter's probably a bigger, more well-known company than Lyft is. And so, who knows? Bring up Trade Manager. All right, let me check it out. For TEFs. Here, let me bring my normal screen up. That's the regular, like, default platform. Well, what did I do here? What did I do? I just, like, okay. There we go. I don't know what happened. All right, so let me pull this up. Let me pull up. Somebody said to pull up the default trade manager. There it is. All right, so we can check Lyft here. Yeah, so the Lyft IPO is tradable on TEFs. They've already added it to their system. Appreciate that, Bill. Yeah, so Lyft is tradable on TEFs. And that's one of the things I like about TEFs. You know, they might not have some penny stocks and stuff like that, but they usually add these pretty quick. And a lot of stocks that are hard to borrow are shortable on TEFs. And so, you know, Lyft is tradable and shortable today. So that'll be cool to watch. Maybe listen, I learned my lesson a long time ago trading IPOs. And I'm probably, even though it's tradable, I'm still probably not going to trade it. You know, I learned my lesson a long time ago trading these IPOs. Very easy way to lose money. And while everybody tries to get you hyped up and excited for it, and maybe it'll go and continue pushing up, but I couldn't imagine that it's going to go extremely well with that high price for Lyft. You know, I think that Lyft tried to beat Uber into the market, into the public space, but I think that it might actually be good for Uber because they'll be able to see how well Lyft holds up, like a similar company holds up to that pricing. And so basically, if Lyft comes out here and fails and just drops, Uber knows maybe we shouldn't IPO that high. Maybe we should IPO a little bit lower, set a little bit more reasonable of a price. And so I think that might be good for Uber in general. But we'll see. Who knows? I could be wrong. Maybe Lyft skyrockets and just starts running up out of hype at or once it opens up, once it IPOs. And so who knows? I could be wrong. All just pure speculation. What's up, Bamboo? What's up, bro? Yeah, I might be boring, but I'm safe, Isaac. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to be safe, brother. Yeah, man. Good luck. I hope it works, bro. I hope it works. Listen, if it works for you, I'm not gonna be mad at you. Appreciate the sub, HP, Alicia, Demetrio. Thanks for the subs today, guys. Welcome. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, guys. We day trade live on stream every weekday morning. We don't just stop the stream at the open. We actually trade on stream. And so hit that subscribe button if you haven't. What's up, Vice? Yeah, man. Seal, we actually went over this. Like, yesterday's class was on extension levels, right? And, one of the very common things that we said with some of these, one of the things we went over in class yesterday is that whenever you see a cheaper penny stock with a low float gap up like this, you always have to understand that the chances that these stocks, for stocks like this, like SEEL, and for cheaper penny stocks with low floats, most of the time it's harder for these stocks to hold up after moving. It's harder for them to hold their weight. It's harder for them to maintain these big prices when they do run up. Because, to be honest, most of the time, these cheaper penny stocks are terrible companies. Most of the time, they're terrible companies. And with that, a lot of times they come right back down. The float's small, so they have the ability to get pumped up and run big, but most of the time they come right back down. Maybe not all the way back down, but point is, most of the time they don't hold their gains. Not always. You do have outliers that sometimes go crazy and hold all their gains and continue running and turn into better stocks, but most of the time, it's very similar to most of the time companies fail. Sometimes though, you will see companies break out of the penny stock land and succeed to be a better company, but they're outliers. Somebody else was talking about MYT, but I don't actually see the catalyst behind this one either. It's at 250s. We'll see what happens to it. If you could short seal, then that would be a good day. Yeah, probably so. Honestly, I've been trying to open up a CMEG account. No, it's not tradable. Most of these probably aren't. I could check. PRGS is. SAIC is. BlackBerry is. BB. VTVT is not. SBS is. CELG is. Riot is. RIOT. Here's a penny stock that's tradable. Riot's a terrible blockchain company, though. I've traded Riot before. Terrible company, in my opinion. VKTX. I might watch VKTX too. It just depends on where this one moves. Alright, guys, we got about 10 minutes. So what are you guys looking to trade today? Yeah, I mean, honestly, if you look at most... Here's the thing, right? This is a very interesting thing in trading. And if you can trade penny stocks, it's one of the reasons why I like options, right? Because if you can find a good price, a lot of these are coming right back down. But if you go look up all the penny stocks that have gapped up in the last 2 weeks. I would say at least 70% of them have fell 50% or more. If you look at all the big penny stocks, if you look at all the low floater penny stocks that have gapped up big in the last 2 weeks, most likely around 70% of them or more have dropped since then. Have dropped probably, I would say, at least 30% since then. And so it just kind of shows you that these penny stocks get extended on the upside. Most of the time they're just up on hype, and they come right back down. What's up, Eric? What's up, bro? Yeah, MU is up. I can't. MU was recommended on Mad Money, I think. MU was recommended on Mad Money. I think it was Mad Money. It was recommended on something. MU was. And really, the rest of the microchip stocks are up as well. AMD, NVIDIA. And so they could be following the market, which is up some, looking healthy. Or they could be up because Mad Money they were a stock pick on Mad Money. Who knows? Hey, good luck with that, Eric. Listen, man. I hope it works out, bro. But I'm highly skeptical of it. But maybe I'm wrong. Who knows? Alright, we got Mitch here. Hold on. Are we coffee shop trading today, bro? Alright, guys, we got Mitch here live from the coffee shop. Live from the coffee shop, we got Mitch here.
Headset here. Don't know why it's not working. Give me a second, guys.
Alright, well, we got Mitch here live from the coffee shop. That's like Mitch's good luck charm. Yeah, we talked about it. We talked about Seal. Sean, what's up, bro? We got Isaac here, Mitch, talking smack. Just like the good old days. We got Isaac here talking smack, man. Dare I say Brady, Yeah, I think Lyft might be going to like $50 today.
There you go. What's up? What's up?
There you go. All right. What's up, bro? Can everybody hear Mitch? Let's do a sound check.
What's up? What's up? How's everybody doing today?
Everybody can hear him?
So what's up with Lyft is opening up?
Yeah, man, it's tradable on TEFs too, but I think it's opening up. I think it's IPOing way too high. All right, low volume. It's IPOing at $72.
Okay, and what's the ticker?
LYFT. You can't see it right now. It hasn't opened up yet, but it is tradable on TEFs.
LYFT.
Yep.
All right. Perfect. I'll keep an eye on it.
Yeah.
One that I heard about moving that's a little bit strange is Monster. I heard Monster was moving around.
What's the symbol for Monster?
Let me figure that one out.
Somebody here knows. Is it M? No.
It's like a bigger price stock, but
I always like try to guess what the symbol is. For this one, I can't. Somebody will probably tell me in the chat pretty soon.
it's not Mon.
Yeah, I checked it. I checked Mon. I checked MSTR. I checked M, which is Macy's. MNST. Appreciate it. Yeah, there they go. Yeah, MNST. It's down some. It was kind of choppy yesterday. It's not moving too much in pre-market. Honestly, I didn't even know Monster was a publicly traded company.
Yeah, it's something that I learned also. I was just doing research on MU, and then I found the information on Monster.
Yeah, I mean, it's not really talked about that much, I wouldn't think. All right, here, guys, we got 5 minutes. I'm gonna get everything ready and get ready to trade.
Okay, wheat stock's looking strong today.
Yeah, NBEV. Look at NBEV. That's probably one of the stronger ones.
Yeah, I think MBEV and ACB are my top watch on the long side. I like ACB's daily chart. It's come down and held underneath 9. Looks like a nice flag on the daily. Could break out today over 9.
Let's do it, bro. Coffee shop trading, bro. Honestly, if you have a green day today, I'm gonna start going to the coffee shop to stream. You know what I mean? I'm gonna go like find a coffee shop and just go there to stream. So you know.
Hey man, I'm just gonna sit back, relax, and let the strategy work.
All right, guys, we got about 4 minutes left, a little bit less than 4.
Oh, I got a nice brownie for breakfast. How's that for a champion breakfast?
Hey, bro. Chocolate's good for you, man. You know?
Yeah, man. Chocolate and coffee? What?
For sure. Coffee actually is good for you. I'm like a big proponent of coffee, you know. But with no sugar, you know. My wife puts tons of sugar in her coffee, like tons of cream, tons of sugar. It's terrible for you, man. You're just drinking sugar in the morning. Like, that's bad for you. You know? Like, you drink coffee without sugar, it's actually kind of good for you.
Gotta say, I'm guilty as charged.
Yeah.
I got some sugar.
I can't do it. It's not that I don't want to. I just can't have sugar in the morning. Like, I just don't like sugar in the morning. It makes my stomach hurt. Like, if I eat, like, waffles in the morning. Like, too early, at least.
Yep. I'll be right back, guys.
Alright. Alright, guys. A lot of people talking about ACB. Yeah, APDN looks interesting. We'll see if that one can break over $1. I think that's probably the big level for that one. Gonna look at AMD, like I always have. The moving, while the VWAP fade and stuff like that has not been that much in play today, or this week, the moving average crossover has worked almost every day this week, I think. And so it's interesting. So maybe in the future, whenever I stop trading, whenever the VWAP fade and stuff like that does not work as well, I should switch over and start trading the moving average crossover until I see more VWAP plays. That's kind of something I was thinking of lately. But yeah, the SPY up decent here. We'll see where that one goes at the open. We got Seal. Gonna keep an eye on Seal. Yeah, gonna watch Lyft. Does anybody know when the IPO is supposed to happen? When the IPO for Lyft is supposed to happen? I mean, AMD's up. It's up to 25 this morning. Cron actually gapping down some. MU. We'll see. It's not that I'm not really invested in either direction for MU. Really, I'm looking to short these that have gapped up. Specifically like NBEV as well, down to 520 maybe. If it can. The only problem is that the VWAP's a little bit too high here. 5 minutes to 1 hour is what I read on Forbes. Alright, that's doable. Alright, guys, we got about a minute left. 1 minute, guys. Let's do this.
Let's get this done.
Malibu says most IPOs happen around 10, but I get the feeling that this one will be at noon time. Yeah, it might not be a bad move, Bamboo.
Any other stock than the original couple you're watching today, John?
What do you mean?
Like any gapper that that's not our normally traded stocks, our normally read stocks.
What was it? Man, I can't think of it. There was one. There's Nvidia MU, but I think that's in our name one. BlackBerry BB. That was it.
Okay, check that out.
It's up. It's up a little bit over 10%. It seems.
Okay, yeah, that seems interesting right there. See, thank you.
You're welcome. AMD spiking up some. AMD up to 2560s.
Oof.
Big spike. They're gonna have the Lyft IPO ready here. Looking at NBEV spiking up some as well. Wait, is Lyft open? Nah.
Nope, not yet.
Yeah, MU spiking up. NBEV up. AMD up. Roku down. Oh, I'm also looking at PRGS. Kron up. And you up. Hey, Mitch, just let me know when you're about to talk, and then I'll unmute you because it's a little... Okay. BB up. Blackberry's up. Roku, I'm looking at Roku still. The overall market is sideways right now. Oh, I gotta look at AMD for the moving average crossover play. There we go. Did we get one already? Nope. Good. I got way too many programs up on my computer right now. I got Skype, Tefs, Zoom, Thinkorswim, Trade Ideas, PyCharm, PowerPoint, and a bunch of tabs open on Chrome. Luckily, I got an i7, but still. Probably way too many. All right, we get a little VWAP bounce here for AMD. All right, AMD pulling back some here. I'm looking at Roku. Roku doesn't look terrible. If you get an entry of around 65 or so with the risk of, I don't know, maybe 30s. Cron pulling back. SPY pulling down. I might be in for a few shorts today. Alright, so I'm in with my moving average crossover play on AMD. It did cross for a minute. It kind of quickly crossed back here. Alright, we just broke the broke the lows. Looking pretty weak on AMD here. I'm going to take a little bit off here. There we go. Holding 300 shares now. No, at this point, pretty decent. Getting some drops here on AMD. I mean, I'll look for a fade for sure on AMD now. It just depends if it pulls back to that level. BlackBerry seems to still be strong, but the market is falling. At this point, I can use just about the $50 as my risk now. Or I could just do break even, I guess. See if it actually works for me. I like 60 as a risk if you get in around the VWAP. Or no, 60 is a little bit too tight. We got some drops though, so we should have some fades today, Mitch. I'm going to take 100 off here. Whoa. Quick rebound right when I was taking that. Looking at PRGS. Let's see, AMD. I'm trying to figure out where to do a risk here. We got 57 VWAP. Maybe 65 is probably a reasonable risk area. And so if I get in at 57 and use 65 as a risk, it's pretty tight, all things considered. I could use 40 as a reward target. That's 8 cent risk and then 17 cent reward. So 2 to 1 if it gets up there or not. But keeping an eye on it. Also looking at Cron, some of the cannabis plays. NBEV maybe as well, but the VWAP's a little bit too high for me there. I'm just testing the moving average crossover play. I'm still looking for VWAP fades, but on AMD, I've been testing this moving average crossover every day. All right, we're at the VWAP here on AMD. All right, I'm in with 300 shares of AMD with a risk of 65. Or 400 shares, I'm sorry. 400 shares on AMD with a risk of 65. And so I'm risking about 40 bucks, which is fine. All right, we're up to 60. Got to be pretty tight here. My risk is about 65, so about 5 cents. I can let it test that level, but I got to be strict with it. Whoa. There we go. All right, we are getting a squeeze. Like I said, I just got to let it test 65. If it breaks 65, I got to get out. All right, there's 65, and I'm out. So $64 loss, definitely a little bit bigger than I wanted it to. But yeah, guys, the fade has not been working for me lately. It's just been one of those weeks. I can also look at Roku, though. I'm kind of looking at Roku as well. And Roku doesn't look terrible. I'd have to use a 65 risk. Let me see. Yeah, lately we've just been getting super, a ton of fake outs with the fade. I'm also looking at Cron. Cron doesn't look terrible. It just depends on what the rest of the cannabis plays are doing. Yeah, Cron's right there. You could use a 1910 risk for it, but part of me thinks I should just be done for the day, considering how much the fade has just been faking me out lately. Another thing is I should probably start waiting a little bit longer. I have to be able to analyze what's going on. I probably should start waiting a little bit longer before getting into a trade. That might help a little bit, maybe. Because it looks like AMD's just faking me out. It's really just sideways right now. My risk was 65. It got up to 69. Yep. Got faked out on that side too. Cron would have followed through. I'm also looking at NBEV. SPY's dropping, so that's kind of dragging everything else back down, I think. So that should be good for some of these. I also see NBEV. I can try to take NBEV here. And I don't mind that 550 risk, especially since NBEV is up a ton today. But I'm going to use small sizing if I do jump in NBEV. The only problem with NBEV is that it's already kind of filled the gap. So, like, you could see it already went exactly down to that previous day's closing price and then bounced back. So I think my best plan of action now is to maybe look for something that might be an all-day fader. For the bounce, just be careful. The market was heading down. It may actually start to bounce back here, though. Yeah, that looks good. I like that one. The SPY's pulling back to the VWAP some. Yeah, there goes NBEV. I really thought about it, but just didn't end up getting into it. But it actually followed through like I thought it would. At least down to 530s where it's at now. Yeah, Modifi, don't stress it, brother. It's just been one of those weeks, man. It really just has been one of those weeks where it kind of shows you the pattern of trading, though, where it's like I do really well for a month and a half, and then 1 or 2 weeks, I just do really bad. It's kind of how it goes. I'm still looking, though. The other day I came back. This is easily the bigger loss of the week. And so if I do get into anything else, I'll probably take it slow and do small sizing, see if I can get a bigger percentage gain from it. Limit my risk, but give myself a good chance of making a little bit of it back. I think that's the most reasonable way to approach it. Wait, what'd you say? For a bounce play? What's your entry on APHA? That's not bad. I mean, what's your reward target? 940? Right. I think that's reasonable. Yeah, I mean, I think if it does break 940, 950 is like a reasonable target. Right. I think uh, I think a lot of them are near support as well. I'm looking at Roku as well. If Roku gets up to 58, I'll consider that too, with a price target of 25. Maybe Kron as well, although Kron already faded really nicely once, and the Spy already faded once, and so looking for another fade after the Spies push down some may be a little bit risky. Cass says, "Hey, John." Yeah, I think in this market we just got to be careful. I know a lot of other traders are having a rough week this week too. I know I saw a few other traders post about having rough weeks, and so I think it's just one of those weeks, man. Right. I think you're the outlier though, but maybe not. Yeah, I can kind of see the bear flag there. Let me see. Yeah, guys, it's one of those things. I see a lot of people in the chat saying they had red weeks too. It's one of those things where you might do well. You have to recognize when the market turns, and this week and maybe a little bit last week is definitely an example of the market kind of turning to a certain extent. And you just got to be careful. When the market does this and strategies that usually work well stop working, you just have to protect your account a little bit more. And that's going to be different for everybody. Like Mitch had a super good week. He had a really good week, and so it's not for everybody. It just depends on what strategies you're really approaching. And with that, you have to keep that in mind. Like I said, this week was a pretty, it was definitely a red week for me, but the moving average crossover play worked almost every single day. Almost every day, the moving average crossover worked, and so it just kind of shows. Looking at what? Which one? BlackBerry. Oh, is it there? I forgot about BlackBerry. What's your? That doesn't look bad. I'm looking at Kron, see if Kron will pull back. Yeah, AMD completely just. Whoa. Is the stream? Did the stream just go out? No, that's weird. Yeah, you're welcome, Cargo. Hey, at least somebody's making money, man. It's just kind of one of those things where I just gotta hang in there. You know, like I said, the last almost 2 months before that were green. The last month and a half prior to the last 2 weeks were green, and so it's just one of those things. Right? Are you? That wasn't a Limp Biscuit reference, was it? uh, yeah, I was a '90s kid, man. Limp Biscuit. It's just one of those days. Yeah, man. Limp Bizkit Corn, you know, the grunge going on 20 years ago. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, I don't listen to it now, but hey, at least the stream's still going. I thought the stream died. So AMD did end up fading down. It just faked me out, you know, which is pretty normal, I guess. The SPY is dropping down nicely. Bouncing a little bit now, though. I don't think you have to really. I'm looking at Roku right now. I'm looking at two ones. I'm looking at Roku and what was the other one? I would say AMD, but I don't mind AMD if you use like a 580 risk, but it's not super good or anything. There you go. Yeah, BlackBerry. That's right, Greg. Yeah, man. Good times, Greg. You know I'm old. All right, SPY bouncing back here. Roku bouncing back with it. So I'm kind of looking at Roku now. Let me take these moving averages off. Like I said, though, since I'm already down on the day, I'm actually going to use smaller sizing if I do get into a trade right now. Let's see. 70 risk. That's 35 cents, I believe. So yeah, 35 cents. And then a reward target of 60 cents. Maybe a little bit more. So I don't hate Roku. I'm just going to do like 100 shares though. If you can get up to 36, just 100 shares or so. There you go on BlackBerry. Looks good. SPY really moving back here. So I could start looking for my move on Roku. All right, I'm going to get in with 50 shares here a little bit early for Roku. And then add my 50 up back if it does squeeze up there to around that level. I think that's a reasonable plan just in case it does break down and I miss the full move. So I can have a little bit of a position and try to take advantage of a small position if worst case scenario. Which is what we might actually get. Just kind of what we got. SPY fell right back down though. Let's see if it holds down there or not. GBR is moving. It's been a while since I've seen GBR. It's a crypto stock, right? Yeah, look at GBR go today. Wow, up to 260s. All right, so yeah, Mitch is in BlackBerry. What's your entry, Mitch? So, so yeah, Mitch's entry is right here. Just so everybody could see. All right, so we're getting back up to 20s. Like I said, I could start considering adding back to it here if it holds, but it doesn't look like it's going to. There's 18s. What's up, Sid? Can you code algorithms and trade ideas? I'm not sure if you can code them. You can create your own scanners, but I don't. Right, that makes sense. Right, you basically have to make the code and then upload it later, and then upload it once it's finished. All right, so here's the move that we're getting on Roku. All right. So the SPY is running up a little bit. Yeah, for sure. I see the trend line definitely. Yeah, SPY's push it up too, so that might work against you a little bit too. SPY running up some as well, so we got to watch the SPY too here. The spread on mine's not good enough for me to really add. It just depends on what happens here with the SPY. If it gets rejected and fades again, or if it squeezes up. All right, I added another 100 or another 50, so my full sizing is 100 now. And I'm just going to keep it tight at 650, most likely. Well, the SPY is pulling back. I think Roku's following the SPY a decent amount here. And so we'll see what the SPY does, but it's squeezing up on me now. I think I just have to hold it tight here. Even though the SPY's breaking out, we should see a breakdown in Roku as well here. All right, so okay, so like I said, I'm holding it up to 70s here. It's at 60s now, and so I got to be careful. It could squeeze up here, and I just got to be tight with it. Back down to 58. SPY breaking down, so it should be good for us, but we'll see. I think it needs to break under the $0.50. I think this is the risk I have to follow. Let's see, 72.70 right there. So if I can draw it out before it squeezes. There's 55s. So yeah, right around 73 actually is where I need to hold it to. All right, so we broke back under the $0.50, which is good, but whether it's actually going to hold here or not is a different story. Hopefully it does, and hopefully it follows back down. But I think I'm just kind of watching the SPY. I think that plays a big factor in like what this one's going to do. If the SPY continues to squeeze up, then it's probably not going to work out. Ooh. Sorry, Mitch. I just realized you were muted.
No worries.
Hey, Mitch.
Good.
Yeah,
I'll
Mitch.
get out of this spot right here.
Mitch had a really good trade on BlackBerry, guys. I forgot to unmute him. Sorry, guys. Sorry, bro. All right, so we're getting a fall back down here on Roku. I just unmuted you. Sorry, man.
It's all good. I might just have to get out right here, BB. I still have $60 in profit. Don't want to risk this. Anything over 10, I'm just going to get out.
All right, so there's a breakdown on Roku. It's looking a little bit better now. Let's see if it actually follows through. That's the goal here. SPY still.
I'm out, guys. I'm out. BBB looks like a bull flag or a pennant long. I'm going to go ahead and get out of that trade. I'll take my $61 that I'm up for the day and get on out of here. Probably after commissions, only going to probably be about 40 bucks. But I'll take that 40 bucks. Green day again. That's right. 4 green days for the week. Over $400.
Killing it this week, man.
Go ahead and continue. 2 weeks ago, I was at about $600. I had a down week last week, about 150, 180, somewhere in that range. And now we're getting back into the swing. The real keys is if we can have the good weeks be $300, $400 winners, winning weeks, and then the losing weeks be about 100 to 200, we can stay within the realms of our profit to loss ratio and keep trading the same way and have consistency.
Yes, sir.
And that's really what we're all looking for.
Right.
But all right, guys, I got to get back to work. Busy Friday.
Later, brother.
So, you guys
Good
take
job.
it easy.
Good job
Have
today,
a good
man.
one.
Later, bro. Nice work today, bro. All right, we got Roku spiking back up, which is actually frustrating. The SPY is dropping, and so Roku should stay down here, I would hope. But you never really know. Let's see if the SPY can hold down. I think that's ultimately what is the big deciding factor here is if the SPY can stay down or not. If the SPY continues to rebound, I think Roku's going to keep rebounding here. But at this point, I'm roughly break even in it now. We'll see if it can break down for me here, start testing those lows of 64, or if it squeezes up and stops me out. SPY rebounding again here, which now you see Roku, and it's a good lesson on how most stocks follow the overall market. SPY doesn't seem to want to stay down though, that's the big thing. NBEV. Yeah, NBEV's back up to the VWAP there. It's right back up there. And the SPY's actually breaking the highs here, which is probably bad for my trade at this point. If the SPY continues to run, I think a lot of these other ones are going to follow suit. And so hopefully the SPY gets rejected here, but it doesn't really look like it's going to. Hopefully it does, but I'll let it go to my risk level, my original risk level, which was 64.70. But it looks like the SPY, well, I don't know, the SPY just pulled back, and so maybe we'll get a pullback on Roku as well. SPY is pulling back, so hopefully we get a pullback on Roku. I'm day trading, Sean. Yeah, man, I'm mostly day trading, bro. I don't really swing trade too much. Alright, so it's getting close to my risk. I just got to be very tight with this. Hopefully it puts in a double top here, but if not, I just got to be very tight with my risk. Alright, I got out. So $120 loss. Not a huge loss overall relative to my account, but it's definitely been a rough week, and I just got to stick to my levels. Just basically, the VWAP fade has not been working well. I've actually seen, I know Mitch took a VWAP rejection today, and I actually think VWAP rejections may be working a little bit better than fades. And so it is what it is. Another red day for me this week. If you think about, like I said though, if you think about the grand scheme of things, up until the last 2 weeks, I had a month and a half of solid green weeks. And so, it's one of those things where it sucks that it's been such a tough week for me. And really the last week before this wasn't great either. But, if you think about how many green weeks I've had relative to red in the last 2 months, I've definitely had more green weeks than red. And so this is just part of trading, I think. I'm going to go ahead and close it down though. I'm definitely not trading anything else today. And I don't want to trade anymore today, and so I'll probably end up closing down so I don't get the itch to jump back in anything. Mitch telling me to look at Levi here. Levi's too low volume for me. And honestly, what I think happened with me with Roku, this was my risk right around 64.75. What I think really happened with it on Roku is that if you look at the SPY here, the SPY is kind of battling it out right here around these highs, and it's been kind of choppy the last few minutes. But if you look at Roku and the SPY, they look very, very similar, and I think I've just been kind of battling the SPY a little bit here. The SPY's been trying to move up. It got rejected for a split second, which is when you saw this dip here. And then it pushed back up and started battling. And so I'm sure with the SPY dropping now, Roku will start to drop. About 120, Eric. But like I said, overall, I've kept most of my losses down to down $20 today. And so I think I'm probably down 140, 160 on the week, which relative to my account size is actually pretty small. And so hopefully next week's better. If not, we'll just have to. Really, I'm going to start taking it slow next week, and we'll see how that goes. You know. Oh, also, guys, if you want to make me feel better, if you're interested in signing up to TradeNet, which is the broker that Mitch and I do, you can go through my link, and I don't know how long the sale's going to last, but right now you can get the intro package for $3.99. And so the basic way it works is you pay for a package. There's no deposit. You're actually paying for the package. And like I said, with this sale, you get the intro package for $3.99. And with that, you get $14,000 in buying power to trade with, and there's a $700 max loss. And so basically, if you go under $13,300, they close your account down. And any profit over that $14K, there's a 70-30 split. But the thing I really like about them is that there's no pattern day trading rule. You can day trade as much as you want on TEFs. And if you use small sizing, like less than 300 or 400 shares, commissions are only about $3 to $4 for a complete and total round trip. So in and out, all for only $3. Not many penny stocks are tradable, but I think they're a decent option for new traders looking to learn how to trade. And so if you want to check that out, like I said, if you sign up to a TradeNet package, and if you go through my link, you get a free month of our classes as well. So you do get a free month of our classes if you go through my link. With each TradeNet package, though, you get access to their chat room for a month. You get access to their chat room for a month. You get a demo account to practice with before you get your funded account. And like I said, you get the previously mentioned funded account with a decent amount of buying power usually for you to trade with. And so I think it's a cheap option for new traders looking to learn. I think most new traders are going to lose what they deposit first anyway, even though they might not want to accept that. And so I think this is a cheaper option for new traders to really learn how to trade. You get a few different trading courses and stuff like that. And so go check it out. I'll post the link here if anybody wants to give that a shot. It's the 20% off TradeNet package. And like I said, it does help support the channel. If you're interested in helping support the channel, you can go through my link. Also, guys, I'll post the Trade Ideas referral link. If anybody's interested in using Trade Ideas, which is the scanner that I use, you can go check them out, and I'll post that link here as well. They make my morning super easy. Trade Ideas has super customizable scanners. Like somebody said, you can even write your own code for your scans and upload it to the API. And so if you're interested in checking out Trade Ideas, super up-to-date, super customizable, and dynamic scanners, I'll post this link here. And yeah, guys, hit that like button if you haven't already. Hit that subscribe button. And have a good weekend, guys. We'll see you all a little bit later. I wish I could have finished the day out strong, or the week out strong, but just not my week today, guys. Just not my week. And so we'll see. One thing I'm noticing, guys, if you do trade fades, we've been getting a ton of fades lately. Like, most stocks have been faking out fades. And so, for instance, if you look at Kron yesterday, fake out. Let's see. The day before that, it didn't really fade. The day before that, it had a rejection fake out here. VWAP bounces may be a little bit more in play. AMD faked me out a few times as well. And so a lot of fake outs this week with VWAP fade. So just be careful. It may be one of those weeks. Like I said, I traded the moving average crossover every day this week. And I think it worked a large majority of those days, did it not? I can't remember exactly how well it worked, or how many times it worked. But I know the moving average crossover play worked extremely well on AMD. And so maybe that's an option to think about. Is the moving average crossover play may be more in play than the VWAP fade? Well, I think it probably is. And so maybe that's another trade idea to consider, the moving average crossover play. Yeah, maybe red to green moves as well. But yeah, guys, like I said, go check out Trade Ideas and TradeNet if you're interested in helping support the channel. And yeah, good luck for the rest of the day, guys. We'll see you all next week. Have a good weekend. I should post a few videos this weekend. Kind of probably reviewing this terrible week I've had and kind of talking about a few things. And so go check that out if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Click the like button if you want to help support the channel. Mitch and I day trade live on stream every weekday morning. And Mitch has been killing it this week, guys. Mitch has had, he's up a few hundred this week. And so Mitch has been doing really well this week. And so I'm glad somebody's doing well if I'm not. But yeah, guys, have a good day. We'll see you all a little bit later, and have a good weekend.